Hey, what's up? It's me, and I'm gonna read some books this week. Hopefully, I can get this little mini TBR done in 1 week. I'm not really setting a time limit on when I'm finishing these books or finishing this vlog. The vlog ends when I finish these 3 books. I have a tradition. When I go into a bookshop, the first thing I do is I look for a copy of Gideon the Ninth by Tamsin Moore. And if that book has one of those bookseller recommendations, like one of the employees has read the book and enjoyed it and they write little blurbs to encourage you to give it a try. If an employee has recommended The Locked Tomb by Tamsin Moore, then I have to find another book recommended by that same employee and buy it. It's a rule I made up for myself. It has not gone well for me ever. I've never found a book that I liked based on this process. So I should probably stop doing that. Last month I was in Columbus and I stopped into a little bookshop. I stopped into several bookshops. But one of the bookshops I went into, someone recommended The Locked Tomb, and I, of course, had to pick up like the only book that even remotely seemed like something that I would be willing to read. I picked up Death of the Author by Nnedi Okorafor. I have not actually read Okorafor before. I know they're a pretty big author. I don't even know what this is about. It's blue. Wow. I don't know what it's about. I know it's pretty popular. I know a lot of people have been reading it. I'm assuming it has something to do with the death of an author, if I had to guess. I don't really know anything about it, and I just picked it up because the person who recommended The Locked Tomb also recommended this, and it's a goofy rule I came up with for myself, and I regret it every single time. And we will see if I am unlucky again with this recommendation. I will read it this week, and we'll find out what it's about together. That's exciting. I was at the bookshop, the same bookshop, and this book caught my eye, and I walked away from it. The next day before I left the city, I had to go back and get it because it was on my brain the entire night, and I woke up thinking about it and regretted not picking it up at the shop. It's The Moon by Sue Dawes. I have never heard of this author or this publisher. This is a new release, came out this year. It is about a group of Victorian women shipwrecked on an island in a parallel universe. Do I need to say that again? A group of Victorian women shipwrecked on an island in a parallel universe. This is kind of one of those books where I think it can't be good. It sounds too good. It sounds too good, it won't be good. I'm setting my expectations too high. It's such a beautiful cover. I think this publisher, this is like their style. So if you got multiple books from this publisher, they would all match. Which is, a problem if you're a book collector. The Moon. Like, what a cool title. A+ job. You really sucked me in on this one, Goldsmith Press. You got me good. I'm really excited to read this. And you probably haven't heard of it if I hadn't heard of it. So, well, we'll see how it is together. And then the final book. Oh, I just popped my elbow. The final book I want to read for this vlog is my most recent book acquisition. I just got it last weekend. I only picked it up because it was $2.74. I'm really kind of nervous about this one. It's The Hacienda by Isabel Cañas. It's supposed to be a Mexican Gothic horror, and I've tried books like this in the past, and I've not gotten on with them. I'm really, really picky when it comes to my Gothic novels. I usually don't like them. I either love a Gothic novel or it's absolute trash to me. This one, I feel like I've heard about it. I don't know that I've heard good or bad things. I have just heard about it. But it was $2.74. It came home with me, and I might as well read it and see if it's worth keeping. Read it as soon as you buy it. What a novel concept. That is not something I ever practice, but we're doing it for once in my life this week. So we've got Death of the Author, The Moon, and The Hacienda. And I hope this is kind of a good indication of the kind of books I enjoy or what I gravitate towards, because you don't know me yet, and you don't know what kind of books I like or dislike. So let's see how I get on with this cool stack of books. And I think having little mini TBRs like this is really fun. I like doing it just on my own time, like not even for videos. So yeah, I will check in with you and we'll see how this week goes. My birthday is in like 10 days. I'm gonna be out of town visiting family. So this weekend I am celebrating my birthday here at home, and that way I get 2 birthdays. And that's a life hack. If you want to see me read some hopefully super good books, stick around and we'll catch up soon. Okay. Sorry for the bad lighting. Emergency clip. I was going to take the dust jacket off. What is this? It's a completely different cover, a completely different novel title called Rusted Robots. Holy God, she's so pretty. And look at these end papers. What? William Morrow. Whoa. Rusted Robots. So I'm guessing Rusted Robots is the name of the book that the author writes. Okay. I'm excited. Okay. I'm excited. Emergency clip over. We're now resuming actually reading the book. Immediate emergency clip update. My copy is signed. What did I buy? Damn. I just got back from an afternoon walk and I went to the library and I picked up the first 3 Worst Witch books. And right next to the library is a Trader Joe's. So I grabbed a box of Joe's O's, some tortilla chips, and an orange. I'm turning 34 next week. Look at this curl. I want to deep fry it and then eat it. I'm like a third of the way through. What is this book called? Death of the Author. I'm not super into it, but it's not unreadable. It just doesn't feel very fresh. It's just not exciting to me. It's not exciting. It's just not. It's trying to be exciting and it's not exciting. The characters are miserable to read about. They are no fun. And the biggest crime, the biggest sin of this book is the writing. Oh, it is basic. It reads more to me like a young adult novel than an adult novel. Take a shot every time someone smirks and you would be dead after. How many shots does it take to kill you? Like 5? I don't drink. I don't know. You would be dead after 5 chapters. You can probably survive more than 5 shots. How big is a shot? That's not the point. The writing is so simple. It's so, did this and then did that and then this happened. It's not engaging. It's not really even painting pictures for me. our main character, Zelu, cries all of the time. She's always crying. Okay, back up. Let's talk about what this book is about. Because when I started it, I didn't know. And so I didn't tell you about it. And I'm realizing, as I'm filming this, that is in fact why you've clicked on this video. Because you want to know what Death of the Author is about. So we follow this woman in her early 30s, Zelu. And she is paraplegic, Nigerian-American woman. And she's a writer. And her life's kind of starting to fall apart a little bit, but she writes a novel called Rusted Robots. See what they did there? I see what you did there, William Morrow. I just noticed the dolphins on the back of this. Fucking hell. I wish this book was better because it's so pretty. So Zelu writes a book and becomes a bestseller overnight. And it's the most unbelievable thing you could possibly read. And this best-selling novel opens up a lot of opportunities for her. And that's kind of where we are. She struggles with her family and feeling understood, feeling like they listen to her. Her family's awful to her. She's awful to her family. So I don't really understand if I'm meant to sympathize with anyone, because I don't. She's writing a novel about robots that are rusting. And I do find the idea of this science fiction novel within a novel interesting. I'm not usually a big fan of a novel within a novel because it's so rarely done well. And it's not done well here either. Because you're telling me Zelu wrote this masterpiece. It's considered an instant, all-time best book ever. Not even just classic science fiction, but like life-changing. The world is never the same. And I'm reading the excerpts from the supposed masterpiece, and it's not good. So like, you have to be a really fucking good writer to say that this book that your character has written is the best thing ever, and then to actually have that shown in the book. And I mean, it better be the fucking best thing ever, and it's never gonna be the best thing ever. So that's why I'm not a big fan of a novel within a novel, because it's just impossible to accomplish and feel real. Our characters just behave, I don't think, really like real people. Zelu cries all of the time, and it'll say she screams. She'll scream her dialogue. The dialogue really bothers me. It's so inconsistent. Sometimes a character will speak in italics. Sometimes they'll speak in all caps. Lots of ellipses in the dialogue. I don't get the hype for this at all. And I feel bad because this is probably the prettiest book I have ever purchased and held in my hands. And it's in my home. And it could go on my shelf. But it's not going to. It's not going to make it on my shelf. I'm almost halfway through. And I'm telling you right now, it is not going to get better. But it's honestly too pretty to DNF. Is that superficial? Yeah. But that's honest. I need to end this clip because it is too long and I am rambling too much about nothing. Dolphins. So I don't want to be like bitch eating crackers about this book and the writing, but I'm so irritated by so much of it that I'm starting to really nitpick. Example: the panic finally broke open like an egg. For a while, she let herself be lost in it. I understand we're trying to say she let herself be lost in her panic, but it sounds like she's getting lost in the egg, which you can't do. I don't know, I'm vegan. Maybe you can get lost in some eggs. I've gotten lost in tofu scramble before. Why not just pick a simile like a storm? Like the panic was like a storm. that she got lost in, because you can get lost in a storm. But I've never heard of someone getting lost in an egg. Lost in the sauce, maybe. Egg sauce? Yolk? I don't know anything about eggs. So then a couple of chapters later, there's this comparison where it's like, don't get lost in the woods. That's why we brought you here to the desert, so you wouldn't get lost. Yeah, but you can also get lost in the desert. You can get... That's a serious thing. You can get lost in the desert. What do you mean? Don't get lost in the woods. That's why we brought you to the desert. You can also get lost in the desert. So it's just, I just feel like nothing's been thought through. Like, we're just typing on a computer and we're not really thinking these metaphors through. I just wish someone had edited this better. It didn't get better. I am actually super irritated because I thought it was terrible. I thought the whole thing was terrible. And then the ending sort of explains the terribleness away. I didn't see the ending coming, so I was actually very pleased that the ending was as fun as it was. And the ending is sort of like, oh, all those complaints you had about how poorly written this book was, well, maybe it was on purpose. And I think I don't think I would vibe with that. I don't think I like the idea of explaining away things that don't make sense or plot holes, because look, I can't recommend it, but I understand why someone would really enjoy this. It is not for me. I will not be reading more books by this author, and I'm very sad because this book is so pretty. This book is so pretty. Should we have a moment, the three of us? We can. Wow. There are even words inside. Thank you for being so beautiful. No thank you for not being a good book. You do not get to go on the shelf. You go in the go away pile. So now we go to the moon. The moon. This is my next read. I'm guessing we're not actually going to go to the moon, but I want to know what's going on with the moon. This is the book, if you don't remember, from like 30 seconds ago, about the shipwrecked Victorian women in a parallel universe. Up and away. What? Do you like my outfit? Do you like my shirt? It's my Furby shirt. I went thrifting today and I was looking for a Furby, and I put this on for luck. This isn't a lucky shirt. I did not find a Furby. Actually, it was a lucky shirt. I found a lot of other good stuff, but I didn't find a Furby. It is 9:30 on Saturday night, and I am home alone. And this week I got summoned for jury duty, and I should be filling out my information online. But instead, I crawled into this blanket hoodie and read the first 3 Worst Witch books by Jill Murphy. I am not familiar with these books. I think they came out in the 70s. I heard of them just a couple days ago because someone on YouTube said that Harry Potter was suspiciously similar to these books, and these books obviously came out 2 decades before Harry Potter did. And my local library just had the first 3 on the shelf. So I went and got them and then read them on Saturday night instead of filling out my jury duty summons. This is why I don't have children. These books were cute. The illustrations were awesome. They're about a young girl, young witch who goes to her witch academy, her witch boarding school, and she has potions class, and she's a troublemaker, and she gets into all sorts of adventures. And I loved that every chapter began with a really fun illustration for the first letter of the chapter, and the illustrations are just really sweet. They're cute books. I don't think I'll read the rest of the series, but it took like an hour to read all 3 of them. So yeah, cute. I have to go fill out my jury duty thing now. I don't think I'm qualified to do anything like that. They should watch this video and get me disqualified from jury duty. I wanted to give a quick update. I am halfway through The Moon, and it's super good so far. It is so interesting. It's like a classic adventure novel of shipwreck on a deserted island, but maybe there were inhabitants on the island before. What happened there? Learning how to survive in a mysterious new place that may be not in your own universe. So we're following 3 women, Molly, Betty, and Newt, and they are on this ship headed from London to the New World in like the 1860s. All of the women on this ship are pregnant. They are disgraced, unmarried women, and they have been sent away. I guess there's not a whole lot of information about how these women got on this boat, but the boat gets shipwrecked in a storm, and it's only women that survive. And they wash up on this island that's very deadly in ways you wouldn't expect. The sand will eat you if you're too loud. There are weird creatures that are deadly. And so the women are building this commune where they kind of get to decide what sort of society they live in and how they're going to raise their children. And they decide to raise their children genderless. And the children maybe have weird connections to the island. Time's moving weirdly. There might be other parallel universes that we're getting access to. It's a really interesting twist on this shipwreck story, and it's a really interesting look at how women might want the freedom to build their own society and build their own space, but also some women have just been abused so much by the patriarchy that there's Betty, one woman on the island, just wants to go back to her abuser, and she's just desperate for rescue, even though most of the other women are flourishing on this island. It's mostly well written. I really like the characters. I think this would be such a good book club book. I think there's so much to think about. I don't want to say too much because I don't want to spoil the book for you. I think shit's really about to start going down. It's really good. I'm really, really enjoying it. I'll give you the final update when I finish it on if I can actually recommend it, but so far I'm feeling very positive about The Moon, which is actually short for community. So that's honestly kind of disappointing. Community. I thought we were going to get a little bit creepier than that, but it's fine. The Moon. My little home library is a dungeon and it's an overcast day, so there's no sunlight. So I don't know how to film this and not look creepy with this lamp on. So we're just gonna have to roll with the creep for today. Finished The Moon. This is my kind of book. It was really good. It was really weird. If you're the kind of person who needs concrete answers in your novels, you need your mystery solved, stay away from this. This is not going to explain anything. I don't want to say too much about the plot because part of my enjoyment was having no idea where it was going, and it went places I did not expect. It's a really interesting meditation on what the patriarchy does to you, how it can really get you under its thumb, and how do you escape from it even when you're free. There were a lot of allusions and references that were really interesting, especially the moon. And I feel like I got some of them, not all of them. I'm not operating at my best level today. Last night I went to the mall to run an errand. At 7 p.m. I stopped at the Panda Express and I got a large Coke Zero and drank it in like 5 minutes because I don't respect myself or my body. I was up until like midnight just buzzing because my body's blood was replaced with caffeine. And so I'm not really operating at full capacity. To make the case I'm never operating at full capacity, but that's not a discussion for this video. Really enjoyed it. Really great. The characters were great. The discussion of gender was great. This would be such a good book club discussion, I think, if this is your book club's vibe. If this is your book club's vibe, can you invite me to your book club? Because I would have a fun time if these were the kind of books you were reading in your book club. What is the publisher called? The publisher is Goldsmiths Press, and I guess they have a series called the Gold SF series, and it's supposed to be a sort of intersectional feminist science fiction series. And these are the titles in that series. Really high quality list I just gave you. I'm sure you did not have any problem whatsoever reading that. I would definitely, absolutely am interested and probably will check out more books in this series because, yeah, as an intersectional feminist novel, this did it for me. This is really interesting. I liked it a lot. You know what it kind of reminds me of? And I don't know why. Isn't that great? Isn't that such a good plug? If you liked The Employees by Olga Ravin, you might like The Moon. Kind of similar vibes. Both science fiction, both weird. The Employees is maybe a little more cerebral than The Moon. But yeah, maybe give The Moon a try if you liked The Employees. Which I did, but I didn't like my work. But again, that's not about what this video is about. Next, we're going to read The Hacienda. And I'm leaving on vacation tomorrow night, so I guess I'll take it with me. I thought maybe I could read it before I left on my trip. I just had a book come in at the library. It's a brand new release. It's a novella. It's like 200 pages. And I don't want it to just sit at the library and not have anyone enjoy it for the whole week that I'm gone. So I'm like, oh, should I go get it right now and just read the novella as fast as I can? And then I can return it tomorrow before I go on my trip so that someone else can get it and it's not just sitting in my house for a week. I might have to go do that. Oh, so sorry, the Hacienda. I promise I'll get to you. Okay, let's go get the book that I have on hold. I don't even know the title of it. It's a long one. I'll show it to you. Okay. The Moon. Sue Dawes. Good. My approval. Stamp. Don't treat your books like that. Oh my God, let's just end this. The book I picked up was The Potency of Ungovernable Impulses. This is the third book in the Investigations of Massa and Puidi series. If I got all of that right, A+, good job for me. Sorry, that was my cat. I'm not going to apologize for my cat. It's a cozy, sapphic detective series set on Jupiter. And I have a good time with them. Okay, I'm going to go read it. Try to get done before tomorrow night so I can take it back to the library. Okay, bye. Bye. Did it. I finished The Potency of Ungovernable Impulses by Malka Older in like 12 hours. Actually, that's not very impressive. It was like 200 pages. I'm going to return to the library just in time. Then I have to come home and clean the house before I leave on my trip. So I wish this had been longer so I could have put off cleaning the house longer. This was okay. This was probably my least favorite of the three books in the series. This one wasn't super cozy, and I thought it was not very romantic. I didn't like what we're doing with this romance in this one. Maybe this would have been better if I had recently read the first two. I didn't. I was going into this maybe too cold, but yeah. I really hope there's a fourth one though. I think that could be really fun where they ended this one. I did pack the Hacienda. It is in my carry-on. So I'm going to read it tonight on the airplane, and I'm going to love it. It's going to be so good. It's going to be the best book I've ever read. Cut to me saying it's the worst book I've ever read. Okay. See you later. Bye. I'm back from vacation. When this vlog started, I was 33 years old. And now I'm 34 years old, and you've witnessed quite a change in my life. I spent a couple of days on vacation celebrating my birthday, and I had a really good time. I ate some of the best food I've ever had in my whole life, and I went to a Publix 3 times, and I used book shopping, found some goodies, and I did not drink any water the entire trip. I didn't get sunburned either, and I have like 120 pages left of the Hacienda. Guess what? I don't like it. We're following Beatrice. This takes place in Mexico in the 1820s. And we're in a time of political upheaval, and for her own safety and security, Beatrice has married this man who she disagrees with politically, or her family disagrees with him politically, but she wants the safety and security of his wealth and power. So she marries this man who, she's his second wife. He's had a first wife who was now dead. And she moves into his house, and it's spooky and creepy and haunted, and everyone acts weird, and she meets Padre Andres, and they are, into each other. We're uncovering mysteries about the house and mysteries about Beatrice's new husband, and let me tell you why I don't like it. Well, I'm not a huge fan of the writing. It's a little try hard, but I mean, that's fine, I guess, if the story's good. I'm not really vibing with the story, because we've got this kind of romance between Beatrice and Andres, and it's like instant love, kind of, which doesn't really work. And also, the hauntings that Beatrice is experiencing in her new house are like directly lifted from Shirley Jackson's The Haunting of Hill House, but just worse done. It'll be, I'm experiencing something scary. This thing is happening. Well, it's over. How weird was that? And it happens in like 2 short paragraphs, the entire haunting. Whereas the same haunting in Hill House would be like a slow build, and things are getting progressively scarier until it hits this crescendo, and then you're just kind of left with like, what happened? What's going on? This is just over and done with in the blink of an eye. But these are just like scary scenes that the author's directly trying to lift from Shirley Jackson, but just fucking up instead. Just read Shirley Jackson. I guess there's also a little bit of Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier in this as well. I'm a big Daphne du Maurier fan, but I haven't read Rebecca in a really long time, so I can't speak to the Rebecca comparison. I need to really reread Rebecca so bad. That's not the point of this. The point of this is I don't really like it. I'm not surprised, but I am disappointed that I don't like it because I would have really liked to have liked it. And you know what it kind of reminds me of? V.E. Schwab, Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil, the new V.E. Schwab vampire book, which I also didn't like. But if you liked that, you might like this. And if you like this, you might like that. So give that a thought. We're going to finish this real fast and be done with it. And I'm very happy to move on with my life. You know what I learned? Reading on the airplane makes me motion sick. And that's on turning 34. That sucks. That sucks. The Haunting of Hill House by Shirley Jackson and Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier. Clocked it. Well, we did it. We completed our first reading vlog TBR together. I'm so proud of us. Look what we can accomplish when we put our minds to it. This ended up taking like a week and a half. I went on vacation, so that is okay. I did finish The Hacienda today. Didn't like it. I worry there's nothing new to explore in a gothic novel. I feel like everything's already been said. I can't remember the last time a gothic novel was good, like a new gothic novel release. Oh, look, I've read The Haunting of Hill House 20 times. You can't just copy Hauntings from that book and think that I wouldn't fucking notice. I understand why someone would like this. It's just not for me. It's just simple and basic. I didn't like the characters. Everything was so fast-paced, ridiculously fast-paced, and I feel like there were a lot of plot holes. It just didn't seem very deep. It just felt very surface level. I did appreciate the setting, political history of Mexico in the 1820s. That was cool. That's not a setting I read infrequently, so I did enjoy that. That was my favorite part of the book by far. But as a story, I did not care for it at all. But that's okay. That's what reading is about for me. That concludes the TBR. Of the three, the only one that I think is even worth keeping is The Moon by Sue Dawes. Really enjoyed this, had a really good time. I kind of keep thinking about it. And now that I'm several days out from reading it, yeah, highly recommend The Moon, Sue Dawes. Really liked it. Death of the Author and The Hacienda, I will not be keeping, which is so upsetting. But that's the life of a reader. That's how it goes. So thank you for joining me on this journey to read 3 books off of my TBR. My next plan is to do a NetGalley reading vlog where I just read a whole bunch of NetGalleys because I need to. Because I last night was a little sleep deprived and accepted 2 400-page read now novels on NetGalley. And I kind of don't think I'll like either of them. Sometimes mistakes are made at 11 p.m. when you're sleep deprived after a day of travel. Join me for that adventure. Oh, there was a word of the video. Courtesy of the Hacienda. We learned a new word. Lissom. Thin, supple, and graceful. Lissom. As in, something I am not. Lissom. So go forth and use lissom in a sentence today. Or don't. It's not really a word I'll end up ever using very often, but thank you to the hacienda for teaching us lissom. Kind of a cool word, lissom. Okay, that's it. We will end with the moon setting off this video. Goodbye. The moon, welcome to your new home. Wow. It's nice that you fit. Glad to see it.